And now I'd like to introduce our new Director of Christian Science Nursing, Elizabeth Harned. Elizabeth?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so glad to see everybody here. And thank you for the weather. Good job. As Fran was saying, my name's Elizabeth Harned, and I'm so happy to be here as the new Director of Christian Science Nursing. I thought it might be nice if I just told you a little bit about myself. I grew up in the Sunday school in the middle of Kansas. I was the only one in my high school. And I was led to go into Christian Science Nursing because during that period of time that I was in Sunday school, so many of my church members, my branch church members, were carried away to the hospital against their wishes. And that was when I was like in junior high, middle school, in the late 70s. Shortly after that, I learned about Christian Science Nursing and thought how wonderful it would be if we had a Christian Science nurse to help my Sunday school teachers. This desire was cherished throughout high school, and as my peers headed off to college, I decided to become a Christian Science nurse. I took my training at Chestnut Hill Benevolent Association in the early 80s, and I have been an active Christian Science nurse ever since then. Eventually, I did go back to school and received my Bachelor of Science degree in Organizational Management. During the last 8 years, I have been an executive director for 2 Christian Science nursing facilities, and while simultaneously the director of Christian Science nursing at one of them. No pressure there. So I am happy to be here as the director of Christian Science nursing. I also bring 3 to 4 years of experience as a peer reviewer with the commission. So I was working with the team to inspect Christian Science nursing facilities, mostly in the U.S. I'm very excited to work with the High Ridge House Board of Trustees, the management team, and the Christian Science nursing team. My goal is to enhance the talent already present in the organization. And speaking of talent, I'm going to put the nurses on the spot. I'd like them to stand up or come forward if you're in a corner so everybody can see you. Let's give them a hand of applause. Good. Great. And then I know that there are a few nurses out there that don't work here, but they're still here with us. Could you please stand? Come on, I'll let you. Thank you. Very good. Yes. I just want to acknowledge and thank each and every one of you because I know that for many of us, this is a lifelong dedication to the cause of Christian Science through the ministry of Christian Science nursing. I'd like to share a few reports of healing here at High Ridge House during the past year. The first report of healing, and I'd like to say that it's always been my experience that the Christian Science nursing facilities are a place of healing for patients, staff, volunteers, visitors, neighborhood, and community. And one of the healings that I'd like to bring attention to is a healing of a staff member. Her name is Leonie, and I'm going to do a shameless plug for the newsletter, okay? And you can read all the details right in the newsletter. So she had a wonderful healing of a belief of symptoms associated with a stroke within 2 to 3 days. So I'm very grateful for that. Another healing that we had, a guest had a fall at home that resulted in the inability to bear weight or to walk normally. The guest came to High Ridge House, and with the loving assistance of the Christian Science nurses and their Christian Science practitioner, the guest improved and was able to regain the ability to walk safely as well as their independence. This took just a couple of weeks. Another guest who was challenged with severe congestion independently brought themselves to High Ridge House. After a week of study and prayer, they also went home healed. Another guest was admitted from the hospital with challenges associated with walking and caring for themselves. After a short time, they were able to walk with a walker and found a wonderful housing solution that allowed for greater independence. And a home care client recently sent us a letter expressing gratitude for High Ridge House for the visit and our timely response to their need. When the individual sent their letter, they also included a donation with their payment. These experiences remind me of Mrs. Eddy's admonition to students from Science and Health with Key to the Scriptures. If students do not readily heal themselves, they should early call an experienced Christian Scientist to aid them. You can find experienced Christian Science nurses at High Ridge House to aid you in your healing. It's so important to receive loving assistance during a time of need, and to receive this assistance early. This next year, we look forward to continuing a long history of healing here at High Ridge House. Thank you.
Thank you, Elizabeth.